Who should be our Prime Minister? This is the topic of presentation in today's soft talk. This question, this central question, is quite important at a time when federal and provincial elections in Nepal are around the corner. So, welcome to today's soft talk presentation. Regardless of his performance as Prime Minister during his decades long political career, a small constituency in Dadeldhura district in the far western region, this region has repeatedly elected the current Prime Minister, Sher Bahadur Deuba, as their representative. It may continue to elect Deuba as their representative till eternity. Another small constituency in Jhapa district in the eastern region. It seems to have fallen in love with the veteran CPN-UML leader KP Sharma Oli. It has elected Oli as their representative several times, and this time also this constituency may choose to elect Oli as their true representative, regardless of his performance as Prime Minister during several stints. Yet another constituency in Rautahat or Kathmandu in the central region may stick to another former Prime Minister, Madhav Kumar Nepal, as their representative. This for reasons best known to them. Another constituency in Chitwan district or in Gorkha may choose to have Pushpakamal Dahal alias Prachanda as their lifelong representative, regardless of his not so smashing performance as Prime Minister during a very critical situation in the life and times of this country. We have read reports indicating that he received this rousing welcome in his constituency in Gorkha district. So this indicates like people are not they are not yet, ironically, they are not yet fed up with this candidate. Another constituency in Gorkha in the western region may decide that Dr. Baburam Bhattrai is their true representative once and for all. In fact, various factors may be at play behind these constituencies' possible selection of their representatives. Money and muscle matter, especially in developing countries like Nepal, and so does clan allegiance. Party loyalty matters. The surety that their candidate will become the Prime Minister of the country, no matter what. This may have driven and this may continue to drive a constituency to opt for the same candidate over and over again. Which constituency knows this better than the constituency in Dadeldhura, which has elected Sher Bahadur Deuba, the current Prime Minister, not once, twice, but 7 times in a row, that is. Every constituency, of course, It has every right to choose their favorite candidate as their representative. Who am I to deny that? But here we are talking about the head of the government, not a representative of a small constituency. Once elected to the parliament, powerful candidates can easily bend the rules to quench their thirst for state powers. They can resort to all sorts of means to manufacture a majority in the parliament in their favor. Our parliamentary history is replete with incidents of horse trading, intimidation of lawmakers, floor crossing, and use of several other unparliamentary, unsavory measures that has harmed this country big time while serving the interest of influential prime ministers and in turn deep entrenched foreign interests. In such cases, the parliament has become a mere stable, a stable full of beasts of burden that do the bidding of a whip cracking executive. The parliament, it has become the sovereign parliament of Nepal, has time and again become a mere stable, a stable full of beasts of burden that do the bidding of a whip cracking executive. The whole nation saw this during the endorsement of the much controversial Mahakali Treaty, during the passage of the Millennium Challenge Corporation Compact, and the controversial Citizenship Amendment Bill. The country, the nation, the people have witnessed it all in the name of democracy, in the name of parliamentary democracy, in the name of federalism, in the name of good for all. These days, what does the so called sovereign parliament do? It acts as a mute spectator even when the executive chooses to sell the country down the river by giving her lifelines away, much to the detriment of the country and her peoples for generations and generations to come. We saw it during the gifting of the Upper Karnali project, Arun 3, Arun 4, Lower Arun, West Seti, and Seti 6 projects. Decades before, the country saw the same spectacle during the sellout of the Kosi, Gandaki, and Karnali rivers. And we continue to see this phenomenon, to see this breach of national sovereignty over and over again. Many a time since the 1950s, most of us have looked into the menu for hours on end and decided not to give new taste and flavor a try. We have wasted the time of the poor waiter and the restaurant owner, the restaurant owner. Do we value our own time as well? I seriously doubt it. We have decided to vote for our ancestors' parties time and time again despite their miserable performance. Yet we expect the tried, the tasted, and corrupt to the core political parties and their leaders to do magic and transform the country this time around. All this takes us to some important questions. Isn't it time for a thorough cleansing of this rotten political system? Should we again vote for the parties and the leaders that have failed us repeatedly? Look how these leaders have picked up their PR candidates straight from their pockets. Does this selection not make a mockery of representative democracy? Does it not make a mockery of inclusiveness? Should not a prime minister of 30 million people, representing 7 provinces, different ethnicities, faiths, and age groups, have a national appeal? Should the candidate for the top job of this country be an all-time favorite rep of a particular constituency and nothing else? Should the maker of our destiny necessarily be a darling of those handpicked birth chart readers and stargazers? Should we vote accordingly when some dubious reader of the future says that candidate X will be the prime minister of this country for the nth time? Should our prime minister not have a long-term vision for this country? Should the candidate not be an expert of repute in some important walks of national life, like national defense and security, geopolitics and geostrategy, economics, water resources, artificial intelligence, the Internet of Things at all? Should he not have a proven track record, not in institutionalizing malgovernance, nepotism, corruption, political instability, family rule, anarchy, of course? Should the candidate be should the candidate not be physically, medically, and spiritually fit enough to govern? Above all, should not the whole electorate elect a prime minister with a majority, a resounding majority? Should a country full of diversity, not elect a prime minister with a resounding majority? That is my question. Let us continue. Above all, should this task fall on the frail shoulders of a constituency that cannot rise above its blood is thicker than water mentality? As a journalist, I humbly request the Nepali electorate to ask these questions. I ask the Nepali electorate to ask these questions repeatedly before the elections slated for November 20, 2022. Let your conscience guide you through and give the country a truly deserving Prime Minister. On this note, I wrap up this edition of Soft Talk. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you.